radio or television for the cost of your time, and you certainly have to figure out what that's worth. Or if you hire an agency or somebody like us to do it for you, that's also going to cost too. Having said that, there are some new business applications that I've seen that are really interesting. There's a Korean barbecue truck in LA. Now this has got to be an LA thing, I don't know. But out there, if you're at the bars and it's midnight, there's nothing you want more than a Korean taco with your martini, apparently. That's like the thing. So this business started last fall, in fall of '08. And they are a little barbecue truck that goes around with Korean tacos to the bars. But nobody ever knows where they're going to be. So you just kind of luck out if you happen, and I'm sure you're texting your friends, the truck's here, right? Well, so they had the bright idea that they'd tweet out where they were going to be that night. Within months, you guys, and this is the only advertising and marketing they do, they only had one truck, they will have 300 to 500 people lined up at the corner waiting for them to arrive. And if they ran into traffic on the 10, is it the 10 out there? They tweet out that they're going to be 15 minutes late or whatever, which ought to just be the norm. The traffic's like Atlanta, or I'm not sure which is worse. There's a coffee shop in Texas that this guy, the owner, was just using Twitter for fun, which is how Twitter originally started. The idea was that rather than text out like 20 of your friends and say, I'm going to go get a cup of coffee at the Starbucks down here in Decatur, anybody want to join me? Because really, you're not going to text that out to 20 of your friends. The idea was that you could send that out, and any of your friends who happen to be watching your Twitter stream at the moment and happen to be in the area might stop by. That's how it started. Which is why I think a lot of us were scratching our heads. Like, I'm not that self-important. So this guy who owns this coffee shop, he had been using Twitter really just to kind of communicate and hang out with his friends. Well, one of his buddies, or somebody who knew, tweeted him one day and said, I'm in a big hurry, can you get me a to-go order? Can you get me this, this, and that together? I'll be there in a few minutes. Tweeted back, sure, no problem. Well, that has become this huge thing. So now, all these people tweet their orders ahead of time to this coffee shop. And the business has grown phenomenally in spite of the recession. It's just using it as a creative application. It's just a creative way of using it. The plain old communicate, and develop relationships. Anybody familiar with Zappos, the online shoe store? Let me see your shoes. So you can get shoes. They deliver and they return for free on the shipping. So if they don't fit you, you just send them back. Zappos CEO is a big fan of Twitter. And he has a Twitter page, but also something like 200 or 300 of his employees have Twitter pages. And if you go to the Zappos page, you can go and you can see, because they pulled in all of their employees' tweets in real time. Now, they're not tweeting about Zappos. It's not like Comcast. They do monitor and they will talk and so like that. They're just tweeting about their lives. But the idea is that they're developing relationships with their customers just like you would if you went into a shoe store. Like back in the old days when they actually had salespeople that helped you. They still do, I guess, at Nordy's. But otherwise, you don't get it, right? So Zappos is one of the models, if you will, on how to use Twitter for communication. Twitter, it does have multiple uses, though. So here's Dilbert and his buddy finding their boss. So fascinating.